Good morning. Welcome to Just for Today, a time of eclectic reading, conversation, discussion, sharing of perspectives, meditation, and prayer. I am Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader of Columbia Center for Spiritual Living in Columbia, Maryland. Today is February 7th. Excuse me. And this morning's reading, pull this rascal up here where I can actually see it, is an adaptation of the February 7th reading from A Spiritual Principle a Day published by the World Service Organization. And the only things that I've actually changed is uh, I've replaced the word recovery with spiritual practice. Um, and that's really about it. Um, References to clean time as spiritual practice, just to make it more accessible. It's a brilliant reading. So let's check this out. Spiritual practice makes us more resilient. Life on life's terms comes with some inevitable setbacks. Spiritual practice gives us choices about how we deal with those occasional stumbling blocks or misfortunes. Do we summon our inner drama queen, back ourselves into a corner, and turn a minor setback into a full blown catastrophe? Sometimes, yes. And sadly, spiritually disconnecting ourselves can be part of our journey. Fortunately for us, spiritual practice makes us more resilient. We learn we can reset our attitude instead of returning to old behaviors. We're reminded that change is the only constant. Life's challenges don't end when we're on a spiritual journey. Rather, we learn to respond to change and challenges in a different way. Get knocked down 3 times, get up 4. Early on, it may have taken a toxic relationship or some regrettable financial mismanagement for us to reach for the reset button. Our tolerance for emotional pain or spiritual disconnection lessens over time, however. Our setbacks are less dramatic because we're quicker to get into the solution. We accept new realities more readily. Instead of resisting the storms of life, we learn to bend with the wind. The 12 steps offer us practical spiritual tools for life. We cross the same rough terrain, but we become more sure footed. We navigate the obstacles and have the courage to explore uncharted territory. With the support of our fellow spiritual seekers and our higher power, we may stumble, but it gets easier to get back up. With the hope that our best days are ahead and the courage to trust the process, we dust ourselves off and continue on our journey. And here's an affirmation for today. I will recognize the sources of my resilience today and be grateful for all that contributes to my ability to put one foot in front of the other. Now, I don't know about you, but I certainly can identify with every word of that reading, especially right now. We are in tumultuous times. And it's a different tumultuous, but it's not new. We have been in tumultuous times about something since the beginning of humanity because it's that whole change process, right? And how willing are we to learn from creation We are creation. Are we willing to learn from ourselves? Are we willing to learn from the wind and the trees and the storm? I remember a while back, I was in a meditation and I got the words, "There's beauty in the storm, silence in the thunder." And I have found that to be true. Are we willing to find the beauty in the storm? Are we willing to hear, to be in the silence, even when all around us is thunderously loud? We don't need other people to change their behavior to be at peace. We need to be at peace so other people can change their behaviors. Meeting chaos with more chaos doesn't solve chaos. Meeting anger with more anger doesn't solve anger. And so we get to do it differently. Yeah, what a gift. And so that's all that's alive in me to share this morning. If there's anything you would like to share, now is the time to do that. You can use the chat function on whatever platform you're watching this live stream. And even if you're watching the live stream later, even if it's not actually live, please feel free to share your perspectives, to share your experience. We're better together. And so having your input, having your participation, having your view in the comments allows all of us to grow together. So I hope you'll do that. And so I'm going to go ahead and move us into our meditation. For those of you that are new to this process, we do a brief 5-minute meditation. It's literally a timed meditation, 5 minutes, so you can practice meditation. And I invite you to just be with whatever comes up, uh, to, as best you can, refrain from resisting whatever thoughts come into your head and just kind of be the observer to see what shows up and let it keep right on moving. No need to get rid of it because that will only keep it there. And there's no reason to be frustrated. Meditation is a practice. And so give yourself permission to just be for 5 minutes. See what happens. Okay, here we go. There is only one power, one presence, one source, one substance, one creation, the activity of omniscience, omnipresence, omnipotence, expressing one activity, one creation, the individualized emanations of this one substance, expanding its experience of itself, expanding its expression of itself, being infinite possibility, the macrocosm within the infinite, the microcosm within the macro, the self within the self. So many ways to view and experience this nameless, changeless being, source of being, substance of being. And so I know that I am that in form. And I know that what is true of me must be true of all. That while language identifies and qualifies beyond words, there is only one. So I live and move and have my being in inextricable kinship, inextricable wholeness of one thing, of one no thing that is expressing as things. And so it is from this awareness that I remind my human self that I am perfect and complete, and that every expression of life is equally whole, perfect, and complete. That there is no separation in the diverse expression of creation. There is no qualifying distinction of value, all created out of the same thing, all equally valuable. Every expression fully empowered, fully infused with creation itself. And so I claim and affirm that I take ownership of that power that is expressing as me, that all of life is awakening to that power expressing as their individualized experience. And that as awakening happens, clarity happens, truth is revealed, peace is experienced, unity becomes the activity of creation, the harmonious operation of one that requires no separation, that requires no sameness, that celebrates each uniquely, purposely individualized, one of a kind expressions of life as wholly and completely, sacredly representative of the image and likeness of creation, because it is creation expressing. I claim and affirm that there is a release of this limitation of a personified deity that is limited by human perception, by human projection. And that every expression of life is open to an authentic experience of the divine self, of creation expressing as. And I claim and affirm that in this human experience, one step at a time, I'm growing into a resilience that separates, that celebrates, that celebrates the messiness of the journey. That every element of fear in me that tells me it needs to be smooth is removed. That every judgment of negativity and positivity is removed. I simply live, move, and have my being as an expression of creation in what is. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the law of creation, the activity of creation that simply expresses creation. It simply makes so every idea in creation, of creation. It simply responds. And so I know that what creation has spoken in this moment has already been responded to. It's already been made so. I know that before I see it, before I feel it, before I experience it. I know it in the depths of my being. And so I let go. Knowing it's already done, I let go. I let go of the lie that the human me has to make something happen. And in place, I allow myself to be guided. And I say yes to life. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amen. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.